The Hypersleep ride is now open. Remember, the Hypersleep ride is not recommended for pregnant women or people who aren't willing to be asleep for 3 years.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Sonic Colors and Nintendo Wii. And in this episode, we're going to be finishing off Starlight Carnival by clearing up at 5, 6, and taking on the boss as per usual. And one thing I might as well mention at the very beginning is a little bit of a heads up, particularly for if you're after the S ranks. And this involves the quick step bonus and the color bonus at the top right side of the screen. At the minute I'm getting a lot from it, but however I have discovered that if you do this excessively, eventually it will not work. And it works for the wisps as well, where after a while, just the bonus will stop working. I don't know why it does that or anything. I'm guessing it's just so that then you can't really cheat the system and keep going back and forth in order to get the S ranks, but for some reason that's how it works. And another thing I might as well say is a little bit of an apology. Like, wow. It's now August 2019. I believe my last upload was about 2 months ago. I'm not too sure what happened. Well, actually I do, and I need to do a little bit of explaining. So even though I have been doing the Sonic Colors LP, at the time I got a job and life became super busy, meaning that I couldn't really spend as much of it on Sonic Colors. I could with streams, because see, streams, I do those in the evening in my area, meaning that by the time I did finish my work shift, I could come back and at least chill on a stream. So that's the reason why I've actually been doing more streams instead of YouTube. Mainly time-wise, and I just could not find the time at all to work on colors. But I'm back now, and let's just hope that it all works out from here. And this is the part where the Hover Wisp would have been unlocked. Even though I did actually use this for the first time in Sweet Mountain, when you're actually going to play the game normally, you unlock it in Act number 5 of Starlight Carnival. This is where I find it a little bit odd with the placements of the wisps. Personally, if it were me, when it comes to which acts you unlock the wisps, I would mainly make it either Act 1 or 2, just so then you can at least do it from the beginning and get it done fast. You don't particularly have to play through the whole entire level in order to get towards it. So that's just a little bit of a nitpick for me. And here's this weird thing. I don't think you have to do this exactly the way that I'm doing it. But I like to get the red ring this way for some reason, because it involves using more of the color bonus side of things. Where when I collect the red ring, what I think I could have actually done is gone to the right, got the spike wisp, and then went around the platforms getting it that way. But I feel like if you use the hover wisp and then the spike wisp afterwards, because of more color bonus, it's more chance to get an S rank. The way for some reason I play colors is like a Tony Hawk game. You know, where you just try to keep that combo and keep that high score up as much as possible before you finish your move. In this case, for Sonic, finish the act. Try to get as much bonus as possible, like in any way, shape or form, and it just works. At least for me anyway, I'm probably doing it very excessively. And this is the part where it actually turns into a proper 3D level. Not 3D in terms of like literally running down a single path and looking at all the scenery around you, but 3D exploration. Like, this is very similar to the Adventure days, right? Particularly Sonic Adventure 1, since Adventure 2 was a bit more closed in. Not that that was bad or anything, I'm just saying it's a little bit more close to it. Although the majority of the time going up here, you're mainly just going to be using this wisp in order to hover up towards stuff, and if you defeat the enemies in time, you're able to unlock more of a capsule, and then just keep this one rolling until the very end. But it's just nice to have a giant open space for it. Not gonna lie though, Sonic, when in proper 3D space, due to how the colors controls work, is slightly a little bit finicky. Nothing game breaking or anything, like it is a-okay. It's just I find that when compared to the Adventure and stuff, it's a little bit more sloppy. Particularly because it was more designed in sense of speed when running through paths, not necessarily jumping around in wide open spaces. Funnily enough though, that's literally the most memorable part of most of the game, because Act number 5, Starlight Carnival, is the only one that has this giant open 3D space. Now let's just see how Act number 6 is in comparison.
Please note that this ride is not safe for children under 12 or over 13. It is also not safe for 13-year-olds.
Oh dear. Oh boy, Act 6. I really do not like this act when it comes to getting the S rank. When you're playing for it casually, it's not really that bad. But the main part that makes it absolutely ridiculous when trying to go for the ranks is the time. Yes, the time. A thing that I haven't really complained about in all of the other acts that we've gone through, but Act 6 is terrible when it comes to the time. Because, well, for a start, I'm using the Hover Wisp, which is already slow in itself when you're not following a trail of rings, this is. But you need to do all this in the span of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is a level that just goes all the way up to the very top. So trying to do all this quickly with the Hover Wisp is not good. And if you do this past the 2 minutes and 30 time limit, there'll be a thing at the right side of the screen that says time's up. And even if you do clear the act, getting all the colour bonus and everything, you are not going to get that S rank. Because you need to make sure that you do it without it saying time's up. It's very crucial on this level. Thankfully, this is one of the only levels that has this problem, so it's not really a huge, major problem with all the levels, because if it was, then, well, that would be a big problem. But this is mainly one of the reasons why I don't like Act number 6. Playing for it casually is completely fine. You're not really paying attention to the time or anything, you're taking in the sights and just having fun with all the colour powers, but S ranking, it's just not optimised for it. I feel like they really should have beefed this up to probably about maybe an extra minute or so, because 2 minutes and 30 seconds is way too tight. I know that there's a dude that I watch actually called Clement J64, where even in his LP of this, he only just barely made it for the S rank. I'm not too sure if he was aware about that, but yeah. Because his time limit was literally on 2 minutes and 29 seconds. If he was 1 second more, that's it, he would have had to do the whole level again. So fancy that. It is pretty satisfying though with the Hover Wisp when you can follow through all the trail of rings. Because it's just a nice form of display, and it reminds me an awful lot when it comes to the Lightspeed Dash. And that's the thing though, I don't know why they just couldn't have implemented the Lightspeed Dash. Not too sure why it had to be like an alien wisp that you had to unlock, when really it could have just been a simple upgrade that you run to in a level. Not necessarily have to beat the act for it in particular. But yeah, that's act number 6, cleared in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Only seconds longer, more than about 11 or so, and it would have not been an S rank, making it completely frustrating. But either way, with all that done, we're going to move on to the boss, and I like this boss a lot actually. It's bloody brilliant.
Please refrain from peeling off the special space-age polymer holding the starship together. It may look and feel like duct tape, but it's not. It's called, space tape. Very advanced stuff. Thank you.
This park is huge.
Yeah, Eggman could be anywhere.
Indeed I could, but I'm right here behind this generator. That's it, Hedgehog. Stand there and be a nice little target.
Tails, is that you humming?
Sonic, look out!
Tails, buddy?
He's my buddy now.
What have you done to him?
Me? I did nothing at all. Unless shooting him with my mind control beam that runs on alien energy counts is doing something to him. Does it? To get to me, you're going to have to go through your best friend. This turned out much better than I could have hoped, and I only used a small prototype.
Enjoy it while you can.
Oh, I will. In fact, the only way to make this better would be to have you two fight.
Come on, Tails. Snap out of it, dude. You don't want to do this.
What the?
Tails, buddy, are you all right?
Huh? Where am I? Why is my nose hair tingling?
Lousy, cheap alien energy. Huh? Ran out of juice. Well, I'll get more. Lots more. And then I won't just control one little punk, but the whole universe. In the meantime, enjoy the park. I'll leave you your own private tour guide.
Pay up, Tails. I told you he had an evil plot, and coming here was a good idea. There it is, straight from the horse's mouth.
We didn't bet.
Dang.
Alright, this is a cool boss fight. I really love this one. Probably because this is one where you're running on the move. It's not 2D, staying in this singular place when trying to attack the boss. It's one that's very similar to the boss fights from Sonic Unleashed, and also I would say probably more of Sonic Advance 2. That's the sort of vibes that I get from this. Because Sonic Advance 2 was one where you had to run after the boss and attack it, except in a 2D perspective since it was on the Game Boy Advance. This one though requires strategy, and it's not the same strategy as all the other bosses, like from the very first one where it was literally just grab the laser, attack it once, and then home and attack it and the boss is dead. The strategy of this one requires you to destroy certain parts of the ship. The more parts you destroy, the better your rank will be because the more higher score you will have. However, at the same time, you also want to make sure that you're using the laser wisp as well. When you utilize all this, you can literally get this boss fight done in seconds, and it's super fun to do. And also you want to make sure that you're doing a lot of quick step bonuses to the left and right, because that's important for some reason. I don't know why, but you just gotta do that a lot when doing the bosses where you're on the move constantly. Because like I said before, just try to get as much bonus as you can. Literally after doing that final laser blast to it though, that is it, it's done. I like how you can tell if a boss is done literally when you hear rings coming out of it. I don't really know how that makes any sense though, because through all the other Sonic games, like even in the Genesis days, when the boss blew up, it just blew up. Rings didn't come out of it. I'm guessing it's just so that then you have more of a chance to get the higher grade, because you are also graded with rings at the end? But I'm not too sure really. Either way, just follow my strategy if you want to get the S rank for it, or just casually play through the boss. It's fun playing it through either way, because there is preference. So yeah, good boss fight, and the music is also pretty kick-ass. It's all just good.
Hey, Sonic, did you give the guide your complaint?
Oh, I gave it to him pretty good. Sup, Yacker? So did you get any more info out of him?
Well, it wasn't easy, but yeah.
Well, we know Eggman is going to use the energy he's stealing for a mind control weapon.
Learned that one the hard way.
Do we know how Eggman is getting all these aliens?
Yeah. At first, I thought that Yacker was talking about how Baldy Nosehair was using burps to do it.
He is pretty gassy. Maybe the smell would knock him out? I don't know, something doesn't seem right with that.
That's what I said. It made no sense. Then I made a tiny adjustment and realized he was saying generators.
So, no burps. Well, that's a relief.
Tell me about it. So basically, Eggman is using 5 tractor beam generators to hold their planet in orbit while he scoops the aliens all up.
Hold a whole planet?
Well, it's tiny, but still, yeah.
Okay, fine. 5 generators? Well, I've already leveled 2.
So, if my math is correct, that leaves us 3 more of those bad boys to take out.
Nobody said thered be math, but I'm with you, buddy.
We should get moving. Yacker says the aliens don't have much time.
Once I start moving, I don't need much time.
Soon the mind control weapon will be full of energy I've siphoned from the aliens, and Sonic's world will be the center of my interplanetary theme park.
Y'all reckon you'll be able to get yourself enough of that energy to take over the whole dang planet?
Yes, I reckon I will. Where is your new voice chip?
Got it right here, sir. Just need to install it. The think bone's connected to the talk bone. The talk bone's connected to the mouth bone. There, good as new.
Finally. I don't think anything could have been more annoying than that cowboy chatter.
Feeling ship-shape with me new voice chip I am. Begging your pardon, Squire, but me and me matey are gonna sail off and search for that lubber Sonic. Arr!
I think that's the wrong chip.
Really? Are you sure he doesn't normally speak in pirate?
On the bright side, he's much more exotic now.
Just go find him and fix that! Shortly, I will have no need for those idiots. In just a few hours, Sonic's world will be under my control. When it is, it will be the crown jewel of my amusement park. The greatest amusement park in the universe! Oh! I think I gloated so hard I pulled a muscle.
Right, and that is Starlight Carnival all done. We now have access to 3 different worlds, being Planet Wisp, Aquarium Park, and Asteroid Coaster, which is even the final level. So in the next episode, we'll be moving onward to Planet Wisp. Take care guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.